my friend. Welcome to this video. The topic will be information as input, and specifically I'm talking here about the mainstream media, which I consider to be dangerous in a sense, and I want to make you aware of this danger that lies around the corner. What's clear for most people is that the type of food you put into your body has a big effect on your health. So if you're eating healthy vegetables, this, that, you will have a tendency to have a healthier body than if you consume junk food and alcohol and cigarettes all day. That's clear for most people. What seems not to be so clear is that there's more input into your system that also has an effect. As the title suggests, I'm talking here about information as input. And I want to make you aware of the fact that you're always moving in a field of information and all sorts of, it's just information. It's not really truth or false information. It's just information, but it has some effect on your system and you're moving in this. And if you're not aware that these things take place, it's like you don't really have a filter with which you can reject the information that comes to you. So if you're consuming, if you put some poison into your mouth, you can, before swallowing it, your body registers maybe that there's something wrong with this. And the same kind of thing that stops you from swallowing this can be in a sense applied to information that is being given to you. And that's a really important skill to have. It's it's a filter that stops you from ingesting the wrong information, which is usually fear-based. So this type of information is trying to get into your system and it's being kind of pushed into your system. And I want to raise your awareness towards this very fact that not only what you ingest in terms of food and liquids, but also the type of information that you ingest should be carefully, how do you say this? Carefully, looked at. So I want to question if you're still, or if you're doing it at all, your habit of consuming the media, the mainstream media. That is news on the television, that is all sorts of newspapers. These things specifically. Or maybe you're reading on a website of a certain newspaper, or whatever type of media, but I think these are the most dangerous ones nowadays. Question, why are you doing this? You should be aware, if you still do consume these things, that the biggest part of what they give to you in the mainstream media is negative information. As I said, it's fear-based, and it's fear-based for a reason. That is not just coincidence. This is absolute intentional. It is to keep you controlled or more easily controllable. Because people in fear are more easily controllable. Just imagine for a second that you're fully trusting in the life process. You have absolutely no worries about the future. You are fully sure that nothing bad can ever happen in the future. Even if you die, doesn't matter. Up until you die, your whole life will be a joyful experience and there's nothing to worry, even if you die in one day. Just imagine this for a second. And now someone comes and tries to tell you, hey, get this weapon, get into war, and shoot your fellow human beings. You'll be like, what? Why would you do this? You already know that nothing bad can happen in your life, so you're not afraid of anything or anyone. Why should you shoot on human beings? Or why should you kill animals? If you have no fear, if you're if you were sure that you're being cared for, then why would you do these things? The answer is that most likely you wouldn't. So that's why the media has to inject this into you to make you more easily controllable. Just become aware of this. I stopped consuming mainstream media. I mean, I was never really someone that bought newspapers or that was watching television news and so on. But, you know, of course, you can't really get around these topics because everybody will talk about this. For me, it was always, I wasn't really sure why, but there was always something fishy with this. So I never really bought newspapers or watched that. Yeah, but as I said, the other people around you, most likely, they will consume these things too. And then the question is, when they talk to you about these things, will you join in on this and will you kind of have an opinion like this or that about, you know, whatever you're supposed to be angry about now, like whether it be war or some disease or vaccinations or I don't know what. Or, this is the filter I was talking about, are you trying to retract yourself from these fields? Because what you can do, if you see this like, you're always in some kind of environment. There is no way for you not to be in some kind of environment. And every environment and also like information is part of the environment that you're in, has an effect on you. Everywhere you are in every micro nanosecond, everything around you has an effect on you. So if you're aware that there are these, let's say, negative fear-based fields from the media, why are you still staying inside these fields? Why are you still investing your life energy into fear-based information? Maybe you're saying, I want to know what's up in the world. To which my answer would be, I don't want to know what's up out there in the world. I want to know what's happening here in my world, in my reality. And also, I want to be the one that steers his own focus. Because if I decide willingly that my focus is cute kitten, then this is what I want to see and experience. And if I don't make that decision consciously, if I let the outside world steer my focus, then it will be maybe war and terrorism and, you know, like diseases, terribly dangerous diseases. That's the default mode. That's what happens if you don't decide that for yourself. So I really want to encourage you to steer your focus willingly, consciously, and decide, do you want to watch media, like mainstream media? Or do you want better information? For me, years ago, I decided, okay, I will completely quit watching news, and instead I will focus on only positive news. And as the universe works, you know, really shortly afterwards I got a link to a German page which translates to only positive news. And they do exactly that. They report only positive things. So that was really a nice lesson, or maybe not a lesson, but it was a really good decision that I made to not move in these negative fields anymore. And also, yeah, if people talk about these things, I really try to, like, it doesn't really happen often in my reality because the people around me are not, you know, so much in these fields anymore. But, you know, every time I can see the manipulation that takes place, and I can see that there is a certain opinion that the few people owning the media want to inject into the population. And I'm trying to counter this as much as I can because, yeah, their intentions are usually not for the best of mankind and nature. And I can see this. And I do my very best to be the counterweight to this. Yeah, my friend, that's it for now. I hope I could steer your attention towards this very, very important topic. And in case you're already disconnected from the media, from the mainstream media I'm talking about here, you can ask yourself, in what environments do you move like every day? And what kind of information do you get? Because even if you advance, so to say, and you left all this mainstream media behind you, there could be the next trap just waiting around the corner, which could be a guru that pretends to know everything and be enlightened and tries to lure you into traps and so on, and keeps repeating, like telling you the same things, but can also be manipulative. So just because you left the mainstream media doesn't mean that you completely avoided all the traps through different sorts of information. So be aware that there is more traps than one. Maybe you evolved one step and there's a few more to come. And I wish you the very best on your journey. See you in the next video.